Welcome to Huntsville, Texas, and Elliott T. Bowers Stadium, home to the Bearcats of Sam Houston State, who have built a rich winning legacy and one that they hope follows them to the upper reaches of college football. Tulsa will kick off and we'll get this game started. And he takes this from inside the 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. So Sam Houston's offense will get the first swing of the game. And here comes their leader, Jesse. He just has a way of elevating everybody's play.
And he's a point guard, too. So good at distributing the football, finds the open guys, and he makes this offense go.
Makes it go, and just, you can trust him. Everything is available, but you're not playing with one arm behind your back. You got all guns blazing.
And the Bearcats moving quickly to the line. They've really performed at an elite level in conference play, and that'll build your confidence as we continue through this session. Trying to buy a little time, and he cannot, but he does get it back closer to the line of scrimmage. Wide receiver shows motion. They're going to go to the air on 3rd and short. And the pressure gets to him again. Another sack.
Man, you can't draw it up any better than that. First possession, force a 3rd down. You want to shut the home crowd up, sack the quarterback, create some momentum. Now you're getting the football back to your offense, probably with great field position.
Slips through the line. He'll get it up to about the 44-yard line before they slam the brakes on it. So the Tulsa Golden Hurricane offense comes out, and they'll take over for the first time in this one. Here are our impact players for this game, and it goes beyond executing an assignment to make an impact in the game.
Yeah, obviously we were talking to both coaching staffs this week, and we asked them who needs to step up and play well. They immediately pointed to these guys right here. They are the key for their respective teams.
Yeah, they don't always show up in the box score, but these are the guys that are the leaders. These are the guys getting everybody organized and have to play well for their team to succeed.
Zings it complete to the right. Put it right on him. Sweet play. Good pickup, and they'll move the chains with the first down.
I'll tell you what, that's great execution between the QB and receiver. They look like they could execute that throw in their sleep. Quarterback took his steps, threw it on time. Great route by the receiver. Nice job securing the catch.
And the defense makes the stop after a minimal gain. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. They'll give it to the back. Solid fundamentals on that tackle from this freshman. Really important for a ranked team going into a hostile environment like this one, not to give the underdog reason to believe.
Yes, reason to believe, and don't give the fans reason to get chipped.
Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47. Tulsa will be forced to send out the punt team. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. The Bearcat offense ready to go back to work. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a bad spot, and you got to get a drive together here so you don't wear the defense out.
I just think, David, too predictable that last drive. They got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
If they're going to sit back in zone, I'm going to make sure I know exactly what they're doing, find those holes, find those crossing patterns, and take advantage of that zone coverage.
And he's able to shed one tackle and gets a pretty good pickup. And the Bearcats want to crank the tempo. From the shotgun, they'll run it. Finally pulled down, but not before moving the chains for a first down. The Bearcats come to the line with a new set of downs.
All right, well, look, I know the defense was feeling real good about their run D coming into this one and how they've been playing up to this point, but finally, David, the offense breaks through and they finally generate something positive on the ground.
And I can't tell you how easy it is. When you're going to throw the ball consistently, and I know it, I'm going to pin my ears back and I'm going to get to the quarterback. It makes life really easy on the defensive line. But when you can have balance, now the defense doesn't know what's coming. They need more of this if they're going to be successful on offense.
He makes the stop almost as soon as he catches it, and they're short of the first down. On 3rd down, he drops to throw. On target to the left. Touchdown, Sam Houston. And once he got loose, it was all over.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times, touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Bounces through the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. The Golden Hurricane offense comes back onto the field. That last drive won't go on the highlight reel after ending in a punt. They'd like to be more productive this time. Going to take a shot. Grabs it at the 25 in stride. They get him down, but this offense is set up first and goal from the 9.
What a beautiful throw and catch on this play, and I love the job the receiver did tracking the ball in the air. Nice job of locating the throw and then hauling it in.
Quarterback flips it ahead quickly to the receiver. Touchdown, Tulsa! And they made it to the house when they found that 6 points waiting on them.
And what a nice start for this offense. The throw game getting working, getting the touchdown pass. This quarterback getting a little bit of confidence. This passing game getting in a rhythm. Nice start for this offense.
On to attempt the try. Smashes it through for the PAT. They wasted no time on that drive. Got it on their 25, and 2 plays later, they're in the end zone. After that latest answer tied things up, just about set to kick it away again. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The Bearcat offense ready to go back to work. How about that last drive? Just carved him up in the air, David.
Yeah, and how about that quarterback? You gave him the ball, and he delivered the goods. Great job taking apart the defense, Jesse, on that last drive.
He really did, David. I mean, that was a masterclass in just reading coverage and being accurate.
Runs through the tackle. Good vision and determination there to find his way up to the 23. They'll try the right side. What a good run there. He has enough for the first down. And the Bearcats want to pick up the tempo. Pre-snap motion, quarterback trying to get a read. Going up top. Makes the grab at the 30. And he slipped through the crowd, and he'll house it. Touchdown, Bearcats!
And a really nice job by the quarterback. He drops back. He knows where he's going with the football. You can tell he sees this guy coming from left to right, running that post down the middle of the field, throws it. Perfect timing to his receiver. He catches the football, takes it into the end zone.
And they did tack on the extra point. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. On the move from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. First down here for the offense. Looking for space. It's Owens. And after the tackle, that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. While we're only through one, these quarterbacks have been lighting up their stat line. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the second. Looking for a man. It's Ventura. They're trying to get to it. And that pass picked off. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick. Line gets set, first down. He's looking to throw it. That's caught. It's awesome.
Nice patience by the quarterback here working against zone coverage. He was allowing his receiver an opportunity to find that open space in the defense before pulling the trigger.
Second down coming up. He's looking to throw. And that pass is intercepted. Got room on the return. The 40. Running inside the 20. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but the great return to give the offense tremendous field position. All right, guys, so here's the offense back on the field again. Wide receiver coming across in motion. Well, jet sweep pass. Touchdown, Golden Hurricane. And they'll put that scoreboard operator to work and put 6 on the board. When you're handed a break with unbelievable field position like that, you better finish the deal, and they did.
You saw the quarterback jog on the field. I think he gave a high five to every one of those players coming off that just put them in position to go score that touchdown. That QB knew this was a golden opportunity, and boy, he took advantage of it.
He'll bring it out. It's Lincoln. He stopped short of the 20 at the 19 and probably wishes he'd just taken the touchback. The Bearcat offense ready to go back to work. That last possession, a prime example, Jesse, of how things get condensed in the red zone.
Hard to throw when the windows are smaller, and that's what happens down near the goal line, David. But for this quarterback here, just take accountability and ownership and come out here and lead your offense.
And move on. Like, we needed points. That's something that we can harp on. We'll watch the tape this week, but now it's time to move on. Let's get another drive going.
Swings it out to the flat. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. The Bearcats will hustle to the line. They'll try to bully their way for the first. Wrestled to the ground after picking up the first down. It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Looking to move it through the air. And they got him. They'll get him down for the sack.
It is such a luxury for a defensive coordinator when you know you can get after the quarterback. This is the best team in the nation right now in getting sacks, whether they rush 4.
And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
Play-action pass success has a lot to do with selling that fake. You could tell defense was not buying it, got in the backfield, got the big play.
On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. And this defense is bringing the heat. Another sack.
Yeah, and the defensive line, you know, 3rd and long situations, I'm rushing the quarterback. You bring in the nickel, a little bit more speed on the field, and the defensive line gets home and gets the sack on 3rd down.
Makes the catch, wants to make a move upfield. And the punt team able to sling him to the ground. We'll get another look at this Tulsa offense. How big is this drive? Scored a touchdown the last time they had it. Defense gets a stop, and now it's up to them in a tie game.
All right, so if you're the offensive coordinator here, let's dial it in. Who are your best matchups and best playmakers to take advantage of this golden opportunity?
Yeah, and I'm interested to see this defense, too. Like, the momentum is clearly not in your favor. How do you get it back? How do you make a big play? Do you be more aggressive here to try to get the football back to your offense?
Looking to pick up a first down on 3rd and short from the 43. To the air, it's Ventura. Going for the big play. And he bats it away. It falls incomplete.
Great job by the defense there. They weren't surprised by that play call there on 3rd and short. They were expecting pass. They took everything away, forced the incompletion.
On 4th down, they'll throw for it. Got his man on the right. He steps out of bounds, but it will be enough for a first down. The metrics tell you so often, go ahead, go for it on 4th down, and it pays off there.
That just shows you the head coach's confidence in his quarterback to go out on a critical 4th down and execute.
And a lot of times you want those big plays. You want those splash plays, but sometimes you're going to take some losses. You're not going to run the football overly well, but if you continue to run it, you can at least create some balance. You at least have the threat of it. Otherwise, you're just going to abandon it, and now it's just going to be a passing game.
We'll take a quick break here. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Third down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. Quarterback moving. Trying to escape and get it himself. He goes out of bounds after a solid gain on the play.
And I think this is important for this defense. This will be a big key in the football game. Like, I got to limit the damage from that guy because that's a QB that's dynamic, and he can make so many big plays. I got to string him out. I got to make him get to the sideline. But I will say this. I do want to hit him at the end of the runs. I don't want to let him out of bounds and let him get free carries. I want it to be physical.
Tulsa comes to the line with a 1st and 10. Pressure coming. Takes a shot as he lets it go. Throw to the end zone. Picked off.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
The Bearcat offense ready to go back to work. Looking to go up top on 1st down. Makes the grab on the left.
It's definitely the wide receiver's job to create space, right? So whether you're running a go or you're running a hitch like this right here, I got to find a way to push off legally or just create a little bit of space to get some positive yards.
Finds his target down the middle. Stopped him at the 41, but that's a big pickup of 15. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. They'll throw it on 1st down. The quarterback bought as much time as he could, but the defense got to him and sacked him. The offense will quickly use the timeout. They've already racked up big sack numbers. It's starting to snowball, and they are ready to go again. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. He's finally stopped, but a big play there with his feet as he moves those sticks. The offense will stop the clock and use one of its timeouts. Comes out throwing on 1st down. Didn't have much of a choice there, but to get rid of it.
And last week was great for this young man. But, man, again, showing you he can do it at a high level. Just working the whole field, using different guys. He is absolutely on fire right now.
Really nice job there by both guys, the throw and the catch, to work that defense and get the 1st down. Got to get lined up to spike it and stop the clock. Offense gets set for 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Fires to the wideout. And he's lucky to get that one back. This junior quarterback knows better than to try that too often.
Well, tip your hat to the defense getting that incompletion because that hasn't happened often for this guy. Completed over 70% of his throws last week. He's doing it again in this game. Can the defense continue to mix things up? See if they can maybe confuse this QB.
And the offense got themselves in a tough situation. 3rd and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal in their back pocket.
4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. How about this? It's out of bounds inside the 10, and they're going to mark it right around the 5-yard line. What a great job there. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board. Going to throw it over the top of the D. Brings it in down the left side. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays.
Really nice timing on that throw. Quarterback had to hold it, allow his receiver to work his route, but he threw it at the perfect moment so that he was able to make the catch inbounds right on.
Going over the top. Pass falls incomplete, and there are still 3 seconds left.
And this quarterback is living dangerously right now. Obviously, he threw a pick on the last drive. He's trying to complete that throw, but the defender gets a hand.
Going to take a shot at this DB. Pass is incomplete, and half comes to a close on that play. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Guys, time for everyone to take a deep breath and digest what we just saw in Huntsville. The passing game for both sides has been outstanding. On point, unrelenting. They've excelled in the short game, the intermediate game, and especially on the deep ball. All in all, a thrilling display of offensive firepower, and these defenses have a lot to discuss here at halftime.
The Golden Hurricane offense comes back onto the field. Going to the run to start this second half. Banging, slithering, whatever it takes to get that ball up to the 32. Good spot after that 7-yard pickup on first down. It's 2nd and 3. To the ground with the back. And he'll get it up to the 38. It'll be a first down.
And that's all you want, right? You want that first down. Understand the situation. Understand I got to get north and south, get a first down, get a new set of downs.
A confident, tough, efficient run gets it up to the 44.
You want to talk about making it easy for an offensive coordinator. You pick up a bunch of yards on first down, make that second down really, really manageable. That's a great job by the offense.
He's going to let it go. Hits him in stride of the 10. The tackle is made, but he's got it first and goal from the 6.
That's a beautiful pass and catch. I love the job the quarterback does manipulating the defense with his eyes. He froze that safety, and that allowed his receiver more room to work his route.
They ripped off a huge chunk, and now a little chunk is needed to pay it off. Touch pass on the jet sweep. Stopped in the backfield, and that'll be a loss of 2.
Got to give the defense credit. Watching film, anticipating. They knew that this offense had this play in their back pocket. They knew about the speed of this wide receiver and different ways they were going to try to get him involved. Everybody on defense on the same page, playing together. I love it.
And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one.
You know, sometimes when you're throwing against zone coverage, you need time for the routes to develop. So nice job by the quarterback there, being patient, allowing his receivers to work themselves open.
Trying to get it done with the run here on 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Tulsa! And with that, they've got the lead here in the second half. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead.
Man, I love the physicality of this offense. It's 3rd and goal. It's money time. I've got to be more physical than you. And that's exactly what this offense just did. Put the ball on the ground and put it in the end zone.
He'll start the return inside his 5. And the returner will be dragged down. The Bearcat offense ready to go back to work. I can't think of anything that frustrates an offensive coordinator more than holding the ball a long time and having no points to show for it, David.
And Reese, first downs, yards, that's not even what they look at anymore. Yards don't really matter. You got to execute those critical areas on the field and get points on the board. Yeah,
it was mental errors on that last drive, too, that led to negative plays. They got to get those things erased and pull it back together here on this drive. Go put some points up on the board.
And an absolutely fearless tackle, giving up size, still got him on the turf. Looking to throw. Grabs it in the middle. Good tackle there to stop him short of the first down. It'll bring up a big decision. The Bearcats will punt it away on 4th down. He's going to try to flip the field with this one. Takes it on the return. He'll get it up to about the 44-yard line before they slam the brakes on him. We'll get another look at this Tulsa offense. And David, how they would love to stick it in the end zone one more time after that last drive.
And once you get the defense on their heels and you back them off a little bit, you get in a little bit of rhythm, it's really hard to stop, Jesse, and they're going to try to do it again right here.
And if you're this play caller, you're loving what's happening right now because everything you dialed up on that last drive ended up working out. You're just looking at your play sheet. Everything you're picking is working. Let's see if they can pull it off again here.
And a good, solid pickup there before the defense knocks him down.
Man, the defense, you hold your breath. When this receiver has the football out in space, you have got to make sure you're playing with outstanding pursuit. Nice job there, but as this game goes on, they've got to keep an eye on this guy and make sure they know where he is at all times.
And that's a nice 3rd down conversion for this offense. And I'll tell you what, The struggle for this offense has been stringing those first downs together. They're not in the top 50 in college football in first downs. They'll get one and then they kind of stall. Let's see if they can put multiple first downs together. Get one of those long drives going.
He steps out of bounds after a huge play, but hang on just a second. Defense might get bailed out here by a flag. First thing you want to do if you're in a hole is stop digging. It's 1st and 20. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. At the 40, there he goes. They drag him down, but not before he's moved the chains, and the screen pass is effective.
I love this running back and the job he does once he has the ball in his hands on this screen pass. He was real patient. You got to allow these 300-pound offensive linemen to sort of collect themselves and stammer down the field and try to block some of these linebackers and DBs, and that's exactly what the running back did. Great job with patience.
That's the end of the period, and Tulsa has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. Second down now as they're ready to go back to work. The give on the inside. They're there to stop him at the 21 after a pickup of 2.
Well, you got to give this offense a ton of credit because normally they've got the lead because of this running back. Today, it's actually despite him. They really haven't gotten the production out of him that they expect week in, week out. You got to give the defense credit for that. But other guys on offense have been able to step up enough to make the plays necessary to give them the lead.
Tulsa comes to the line with a 1st and 10. They'll run it to keep the clock moving. They're just trying to bash it forward. He got a couple. It's down at the 11.
And that's really nice offensively because you're in the red zone. You do have an opportunity to add to your lead here, but you're staying in bounds. I think the clock right now is the most important thing. How can we keep this thing ticking away? By going down in bounds, you're doing exactly that.
Touchdown, Golden Hurricane! And they made it to the house where they found that 6 points waiting on them. They give themselves a little more cushion as they try to reel off their 4th straight win.
This guy certainly, from a statistical standpoint, has done everything to deserve a trip to New York City. He has been a big playmaker week in, week out for this offense. Get this, that last touchdown was his 20th touchdown catch of the season. This guy has been unstoppable.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Bearcat offense ready to go back to work. Their drive chart is starting to look a little monotonous. Punt, 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 David.
And their defense is starting to get a little frustrated, too.
Just keeps moving. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a 1st down for this offense. He had the perfect play to open the drive, and now they'll snap it again from the 38. He'll come out throwing on 1st down. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack. The Bearcats racing to the line in the hurry-up.
Goodness gracious, this is a master class, a clinic on how to get to the quarterback. The 7th sack of the game. Are you kidding me? That's a season for some teams. They've lived in the backfield.
Complete to the right. And they get him down at the 43, but this is the kind of explosive play you want to build on.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
Just outside the red zone, 1st and 10 from the 21. He wants to throw, feeling some heat. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack. A big play for the defense with the 1st down sack. Now, advantage D as the offense comes up on 2nd down. And a quick shuffle pass underneath. No, he loses the ball after the huge gain. The defense pounced on that, and now they're headed the other way. And they'll drag him down after a good return.
And the defense is able to go out and shut the door. They put the clamps down. They've got a big lead, and with that fumble, they're going to win the game. You've got to give this defense credit for finishing.
The Golden Hurricane offense comes back onto the field. They're in command of this game. Now let's see if they try to rub a little salt in the wound or happy with getting the W.
Yeah, and listen, this makes the post-game handshake fun sometimes. If you do choose to rub a little salt in it and keep chucking it and keep scoring, I'm here for it, Jesse. Like, your job is to score points. It's my job to stop it. Keep the foot to the accelerator. Keep trying to play ball.
I agree 1,000%. That's like Steve Spurrier back in the day when I was playing for the Gators. You go and play for him because you want the opportunity to throw the ball. So when you get in the game late, you're not handing it off. We were beating Central Michigan by 80-something points. He was still letting us throw the football. It's the defense's job to stop it.
They get to him as he throws. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down. Tulsa will be forced to send out the punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. The Bearcat offense ready to go back to work. When you're playing from behind, you can't afford to give it up the way they did the last drive, David.
No doubt, you cannot give the football away. Again, turnovers are the biggest stats in winning and losing games. You're behind, Palmer. Take care of the ball, but we got to go get a score here.
Yeah, they just got to do a better job executing. I like the game plan so far for them, but they just need to go out and do a better job connecting the dots.
They'll throw it on first down. It's caught downfield. And he's tripped up, but not before picking up the first down. They'll hurry to the line with the clock still running. Trying to cap this drive with the pass. Finds his man down the middle. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. He'll spike the ball to try to save every precious second he can. They'd love to pick up this third down and get a fresh set with first and goal. Looking to throw on third. Fires into the end zone. And he intercepts it. And the offense makes the tackle in frustration after the interception. Drive comes up empty, and it's a turnover.
That should be the nail in the coffin. What a great break on the football. Getting the big turnover. You got the lead. Now just go out there, be smart on offense, and run that clock.
And he broke one tackle on the way to a solid pickup there. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Now on second down, and we'll probably see another run, and that might do it if they can. He's taking the shot. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge game if he could have held on. So third and short from inside the 20. You convert here, and this drive takes on a different complexion. They get him on the ground, but not before he gets enough for the first down.
And that's a great sign for this offense because this year we know there's been a little bit of inconsistency. And I think the biggest problem has been third down. Right there, nice job executing, running the ball, picking up the first, and keeping this drive alive.
Winning those individual 6-second battles every play, time after time after time after time, and that leads to a victory here.
And I love when teams go out and play like it's sudden death. Like if they lose the game, their entire season is over. This game wasn't for the national championship.